for the past couple of days, there's been a flight of peace from Ibarapa in Oyo State, southwest of Nigeria, following a crisis brewing between cattle herders of the Fulani ethnic nationality, as reported, and angry local citizens who accuse them of destroying farmlands in the area. Joining us now to look at the security dimensions of this crisis from all ramifications is Col Tony Nyiam, retired, a former Army Engineers Corps officer and now a human rights activist. Col Nyiam, it's good to see you again. Welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Thank you too.
Well, Colonel, this crisis between Indigenes, if you may use that phrase, and cattle herders in Ondo State, where the governor issued an ultimatum that expires today, and also in Oyo State, where over the weekend we had issues in Ibarapa East between Sunday Igboho and the Seriku Fulani and some Fulani persons in that community. Now, these two incidents, what do they tell us about the Nigerian Federation, about the big issues, about national unity, restructuring, keeping a federation?
I think one has to begin from the head, that is the president. For some time, I have always said that the president, there's a lack of sincerity of purpose and lack of political will. I say this because if you remembered when we had the similar thing happening in Benue, that one had to intervene, I think about 2 years ago, and one had to intervene. The same part of this part is about the same time. One intervened and called the president, that the president cannot shy away, and we need to see him to stop being nepotistic and taking sides. Obviously, what happened in Southwest? Southwest has been, would I say, very strategic to this country in that, in terms of the economy and in terms of the human resources of the people, and also in terms of the tolerance of the average Yoruba man right from time. The issue we've watched in the last 3 weeks or a month is that the Fulanese militia have been under the cloak of herders, kidnapping Yoruba people, raping their women, and those who were intermediaries in between were their so-called Serikis Fulanese. How much can the Yorubas take? When people allege that Sunday Adeyemo Igboho gave ultimatum, no, it's the people that gave ultimatum. Sunday Igboho is only a voice of the people. And to that extent, it was a mistake. I do know that Governor Seyi Makinde, a very good governor, tries to be careful. But you see, things, when they get to a point, as the chief executive officer and the chief security officer of a state, the governor should stop being neither here nor there. I think the example we've seen with Governor Akeredolu is what we expect of governors from governors in the country generally. Because you cannot be a governor when the primary function of government is to provide security. And the Constitution does not qualify only the federal government. The Constitution is very clear. It says government. In other words, a governor, a local government, has a duty to provide security to his people. And what Akeredolu did, as a seasoned senior advocate of Nigeria, he qualified a forest reserve, as the name implies, is a reserve. Everywhere else in the world. I come from a place that has one of the biggest forest reserve in Nigeria, that is the tropical rainforest, which runs from my part of Boki, Akankpa, down to the Cameroon and to almost the edges of Rwanda. It is a reserve. My people can't even go in there to farm. So when you have a forest reserve and a governor is trying to enforce what is the law, that a forest reserve cannot be, you cannot trespass. And for someone from the presidency to come up and take issues with that governor, it is obviously a very partisan approach that does not reflect well on President Muhammad Buhari. By the way, President Muhammad Buhari by himself would not have done this. But there are those who have arrogated themselves, those who did not elect, who are his handlers, who at times go too far. As you did see, last time when the Amatakun was formed, Malami came up with utterances that he had to withdraw, which it wasn't from the president. And I assure you, if you go and check deeply, the president wasn't aware of this statement by, is it Garuba or Garbage Shehu?
Garba Shehu, the spokesperson to the president. You're alluding to the presidency taking sides. And I just want to bring your attention to what Dr. Bukola Saraki said over the weekend, lending his voice to this situation as well. He said, and I quote, the deafening silence by key stakeholders, leaders and others we think should speak out is worrisome. This silence is a dangerous telltale sign that things are wrong, end quote. So are you agreeing with Dr. Bukola Saraki, and who are these people that should be speaking out? What should they be saying? And would their words be enough, or should we see more actions here?
It's very good that you are mentioning Bukola Saraki, who was the Senate president, who conveyed a Senate summit on security. In that conference, the DGSSS, that is the DGSSS, I think, Daura, openly, in giving an overview of the security situation to the summit, in which the service chiefs were all in attendance. I was there representing PANDEV, Niger Delta Forum. The DGSSS, in a very patriotic tone, briefed all of us that some of the arms seen with the Fulani or headers, some of the arms came from the army armories and police armories. He briefed that openly. Bukola Saraki was present there, so was the present Senate President, Lawan, who was there. They were all present when this briefing was given by the former DG, who is himself a Fulani man. He said that the arms, at times seen with the Fulani headband, came from the, the identities of numbers on the arms showed that they came from the army armories or police armories. And the only person, the chief of army staff was present, the chief of naval staff was present, the only person who responded to the remark made by DGSSS was the then IG of police, who said the police arms, the share of the police was small. This is what is happening in our country. Secondly, as Ruben Abati earlier said about the incidents in Ogun State, where the soldiers were seen to be trying to protect and intimidate the people. That in itself is something that I had to investigate. In my place, in Ogoja, I had a Fulani friend, a very lovely man, who was killed in an encounter with people in my area. And I was very cross with my people and went to intervene to see why was this Fulani man who had settled in our community, lived so well with us, why would he have been killed? Incidentally, this gentleman was killed in a crossfire. What was the crossfire? The community in my part took up a defense against Fulanis who were trying to intimidate their people. And when they overpowered the Fulanis, the arms they got from these people were later, they were armed from the army barracks in Ogoja. Now, how did I get to know about this? During my intervention, my people said to me, when I was blaming my people, they said to me, yes, this man may have been killed for trying to be a peacemaker. But what is happening is that the people captured arms which came from the nearby barracks, and the officers from those barracks were now pleading with my people that they should give them back the arms and everything will be kept quiet. This is what is happening. Now, this gives, in a further investigation, I found out that many army barracks or cantonment, because if you know the army barracks have large land for training, they went into this process of allowing for cattle rearing or cattle ranching in the barracks. Those cattle ranchings, for me, have become avenues from which the Fulanis who are genuine are being infiltrated by those who have the agenda to commit atrocities like we saw in Ogun State. So for one thing, the army needs to investigate that what is the ranches in the barracks being used for.
Okay.
Secondly, many of our soldiers, both from the south, from Hausa land, from Benue, invest in this cattle rearing. What they do, they go to Gongola, buy cattle, and then give to Fulanis. This is why you see at times soldiers take interest in defending the Fulanis. Many of them who are pursuing this business interest don't know that the thing is ultimately going to hurt their own people. As this we saw in Benue, and we are seeing now in the Southwest. Now, the Southwest region, if you remembered, the Americans, the African, the military general, had warned that there are plans by ISWAP to penetrate through the Southwest, through the corridor of Niger Southwest. And if you know the area around Igbora, Igangan, because these are areas that when I was a young boy, we from the military school in Zaria used to go there for bush camps with the officer cadets from Ibadan, Government College Ibadan. So I know the area. The area is a very rich area, and it extends, all that area extends to Niger, Benin Republic, and is an open space because the military are now operating in the northwest. So these so-called bandits are now are doing what are called probe attacks by probing, feeling their ground, and the moment they get into the area of Shaki, Igbora, then the Southwest is exposed, and those of us in Lagos are under threat. And this is why the likes of General Togun has been doing a good job trying to raise this alarm. It is not, we are happy to have people like General Togun doing a good job, and we're also happy that we have a good former commissioner of police who is the SA to the governor in Oyo State doing a good job. No one can bloody fool us. The president needs to take responsibility. We know that he's a life patron of the Fulani worldwide. He should not allow us to experience him that we now have two states within a state. He either pursues Nigerian interest or or take off. It cannot be protecting the Fulani worldwide interests, because many of the Fulanis who are creating problems are not Nigerians, because most of them only speak Fulfulde and Pidgin French.
Okay, I want to come in there, Colonel. Let's talk about that, Richard Colonel. We saw some videos circulating, although some people have said, oh, it's French they are speaking and Fulfulde. Some are saying it's otherwise. But there's a video, I'm sure you might have seen that video, of people terribly, terribly armed. And it was said they're in that forest region around the Shaki, Ibarapa, Gongon, and some other areas like that. What should the government of Nigeria be doing? Should we be sending troops there? Should we be deploying full-on artillery? Because it's a disaster waiting to happen.
Two things. I'll respond to you. What is the tactical response and what is the strategic response? The two differences is this. One, what is the government response? And then what do people who are supposed to fulfill policy do? The thing is, the president himself had openly said that these people coming in are foreigners. Governor El-Rufai himself also gave indication. If you are the president of a country and foreigners are coming in to intimidate your own people and to rape your people, I would have thought the commander-in-chief would be the last to accept that. General Muhammad Buhari was my boss, the general officer commanding when I was in 3 DIF. I was commanding a unit under him. He went against Shagari to defend Nigerian interests against Chadians. And in one of the briefings, when he was briefing us, because when they stopped funding the division, he had to use what is called the welfare allowances of division to fund the operations, to ensure that Nigerian islands in Chad were protected. And in his brief, one of the briefings, he openly told us that his family, most of his family are from Niger, but he is a Nigerian officer, and that he owes allegiance to Nigeria. And I admired Buhari then, that what a man whose family is partially from Niger and yet is loyal to Nigeria. This was against all the pressure given by other people that Shagari, that he should pull out and allow the Chadians have their way. General Muhammad Buhari refused. Now, why is General Buhari now so different? I think the answer to that, I think maybe his wife may answer it, because the wife has been battling those who are holding the president hostage. The president is no more General Muhammad Buhari, some of us knew, who was a patriot. At the moment, those who are the handlers of General Muhammad Buhari are only answerable to the Fulani worldwide interests. And it's a danger to our security. And any Nigerian who does not take this seriously will see that what is happening to the Hausas in Zamfara would happen to us here in the south. And it's a high time, and I'm happy all other states are rising up. And I give kudos to Governor Akeredolu for rising up. Our politicians should stop playing politics, even when they should stop sacrificing their people for their own political ends. This should not stop. This is why I praise Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, who, as whatever you see, he is a hero. And anybody who wants to arrest that should go, he should come and he should start to arrest him. The gentleman is standing up for his people, and is only a representative of the Yoruba people.
On that note, Connor, we'll take a short break, and then and we want to thank you very much for joining us on the morning show today. So many other questions to ask you, but this is all we'll be able to take.